Welcome back to Baseline Car Channel. In today's episode, we're going to be installing nitros on the Tesla. Let's get right into it. So, as you guys already know, we kind of got stuck with this Tesla. It took a little longer than we expected with all this computer system and all this. But we're finally making some progress, and we're probably going to get some work done on this Tesla. So what I was thinking of, we have a whole engine bay because we're kind of missing the engine here. So I was thinking of installing this bottle. We have plenty of room. If we need to expand, we can fit a few more of these on the front. And I was thinking of installing it somewhere over here. It's a very convenient spot. I'm just gonna have to come up with the mounts. So stay tuned for that, and let's get right into it. And I'll show you guys or update you guys on the Tesla. I'm just kidding, guys. We're not gonna install nitros on the Tesla because it's gonna be completely useless. And if it ever becomes useful, it's only gonna be to burn this thing, just like somebody burned the Mustang behind me. So let me update you guys what we got here. We do have something that we're gonna do with the Tesla. So here's what I got. I got a little shipment that I've been waiting for 3 weeks, and it cost me maybe a little over $1,000. And what we have here is the tagger board. I don't know if you guys can see me in the camera, but this is what it is. Just a smaller board. That's the piece that I sent out previously. I'm supposed to have my cluster here as well, which is right here. So those two pieces, I was waiting for them for more than 3 weeks now, but they should be processed, and I think right now it's time to install them. And I'm probably gonna have to do installation software, some kind of, not sure what it is. I'll get to it when I get to it, but right now I gotta install these into a screen and then into a dashboard. So let's get right into it. All right, guys, so here's what we got here. So we got the bolts in this cup. We got this module right here that mounts behind the screen. We got the screen, or the main unit, right here. This is a cluster, and this is a tagger board. So all those things will have to be assembled. So I got my layout right here. Let me open these packages, lay them out, and then start assembling them. Alright guys, so the process is pretty simple. I gotta unbolt a few bolts or screws. I'm not sure how many. I gotta take this thing apart again. I kind of assemble it all together. I'm gonna take this thing apart again and then install both of these modules, this one and this one, install, assemble everything, and then I'm gonna install all this unit inside the car. So let's get right into it and put you guys on the time lapse. Alright, so the screen is all done and complete, all assembled. It was pretty simple stuff. I could have just probably played the disassembly video backwards, but I had to assemble to make sure I got everything correct and right. So I just assembled it and recorded it as well. And we got a cluster right here, so both of these units need to be installed inside the dashboard, and this is what we're gonna do right now. Alright, so we got the main control screen installed. All the plugs are connected. Those two plugs underneath right there at the end of my fingertip, they're not supposed to be connected. We'll get to those later on. We're actually gonna have to do something with those. But as for right now, got a cluster to install, so let's get right into it and install it somewhere over there, the end of my finger. Boom. There. Okay. Alright, so the cluster is installed. It was pretty difficult to connect those two plugs.
right behind it because it's just, you know, they're really not easy to reach. But we got that taken care of, so we're ready to put the cowl around the cluster and just assemble the dashboard. Alright, so I have decided, since I installed the cluster and the main screen, to try to power up the system before I assemble everything, just to make sure everything is working. I know there is a good possibility that I will need to do programming with these two plugs right here, and I'll explain those later on. But maybe we'll get some results that will give us some kind of assurance that, you know, we have done and there is some progress. I don't know, let's give it a try. I'll connect 12-volt battery and see what happens. So here comes frustrating part. After I connected the 12-volt battery, I get nothing on this screen and on that screen. Let me show you guys. Nothing, all empty. I know I definitely have the power, because you guys can see the doors opening, everything else kind of works, the taillights work, so I do know I have 12 volts. I just don't know why this thing doesn't power on. And I don't know if it's a good idea for me to assemble the whole dashboard just in case we do have a problem and I need to disassemble it again. So what I'm gonna do, I'm probably gonna get in touch with that person that's gonna help me do all the programming for it, and maybe I need to launch like a special software or whatever that activates these two screens. Not sure, so I'm just gonna have to get in touch with him or them and see what happens. Quick update on the Tesla. So here's what we got. We got progress. We got the screen on, and what it's doing right now, it's actually programming the screen. It's loading and booting the whole system. I'll show you guys on the laptop right there in a second. But yeah, pretty much I have everything taken apart. Let me take it back. Take you guys back to the laptop and show you what's going on here. So I had the person from different location connect to my laptop and basically to the command prompt connect, and was able to load up a boot menu or boot a software or whatever, and after that it was able to power up all the system. And what right now it's doing is basically booting or programming itself. Once it's all done, then we should see some progress. We should see everything power up, and we should be able to, I don't know, test these things out. So stay tuned.
One eternity later.
Boom, we got everything powered up. As you guys can see, we finally got something going on. So right now I have the car in the diagnostic mode. It shows me the battery. It still doesn't show me all the battery like configurations and voltages and all this. Like it gives me all the controls, whatnot. This is diagnostic mode, so it doesn't stay here much often. I have to like do a special way. I still don't have my key programmed. My key right here, it is active, it's working, it's just not programmed to the car. And how I know this? Because it's not reading the key. So working through that person, I can remotely start the car every time I need to, but I cannot start it with the key, so I'll have to figure that out, either take it to Tesla or do it somehow remotely, program the key remotely. But as you guys can see, we have some great results. We have a whole bunch of little lights that we need to fix, like traction control lights, error messages, that kind of thing. But I'm sure that has to do something with the brake system being damaged, maybe speed sensor or something like that. We'll figure that out later on when we get to it. But as you guys can see right now, we have everything working pretty well. Let me show you guys
As you guys can see, the whole screen booted up. We got the audio system working. I mean, everything seems to be working. The climate control, everything is working. So at this point I am ready to assemble the whole dashboard, assemble the whole interior basically, and slowly start working, I guess, towards fixing the key issue. After doing a whole bunch of updates, we were able to get the car to charge. I mean, as you guys could see, this thing was charging, and let me show you great news, guys. We actually got, after a night of charging, here's what we got. We got 38 miles. Even though it's been a long, exhausting process, and it took me, I would say, more than a month to just figure out this small little issue with MCU1 with the software update, and I still have an issue with the key and ABS system, which is, I mean, all these cars are made of problems. So let's just, you know, I'll sort those things as I go. I'll fix those problems as, you know, as I work on the car, and maybe I'll learn a thing or two about it, and it'll make me, you know, more educated on these cars. So that's something to be improved on. I knew I was getting into this. I knew what I was getting into when I bought these cars. So definitely working on this. I know it took a little longer than it should have, but that's not a big issue. As of right now, I'm very, very, very happy that the car is all good. I'm talking about the battery. The battery was my biggest concern. I could not afford to pay $16,000 to replace the battery. I would attempt to fix it. Maybe it would work. Maybe it wouldn't have. Not sure. Nobody has ever done repair on these things, so I was attempting to do that. Good thing I don't have to. I'm very happy. I'm very happy it took a charge. I'm definitely happy that even though it took over a few months of repairing this thing, we got some results. We got some progress going on. So as of right now, I got three things. I gotta fix the body, I gotta fix the key, and I gotta fix the ABS system so it all works perfectly. That's not a major issue. We'll definitely get into it and get working on it. As of right now, I'll assemble the whole dashboard. As for you guys, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for staying tuned on this project. Like, comment, subscribe as always. Share with your buddies, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.